We are so fortunate to be living in a time when you can purchase really high-performing makeup products at the full spectrum of prices. I mean, you have everything from the newest release from Louis Vuitton and Pat McGrath down to the drugstore products that many people rave about. You can find a lot of really high-performing products right now in terms of longevity, color payoff, packaging, however that is that you define performance. But in that mix, I have found myself more and more searching for products that really are distinctive, that feel special in the makeup space. That means that sometimes I am not looking at what is being released today. I have to kind of go back a little bit. And it is this search that has led me to purchase a number of products from the brand Rituel de Fille. I really love this brand's aesthetic. I mean, it has this sort of like witchy gothic vibe that speaks to my Gen X heart. So today we are going to be playing with a number of products from Rituel de Fille. I'm just going to let you know what my experience is and whether or not I think they are worth having as a part of your collection, if this kind of aesthetic appeals to you, regardless of the way that we traditionally define performance. So I hope this sounds good to you, and if it does, let's get into the details of the products that I purchased from Rituel de Fille. As someone who really loves creating striking eye looks, it is kind of a surprise that I have not tried yet the Eye Soots, but I am really excited for us to be trying these together today. These are the Ash and Ember Eye Soots. They retail for $39 and they are described as one of Rituel de Fille's most magical creations. Intense, smoldering, everlasting color with a rich texture between powder and cream. I love that these are in these little glass sort of apothecary style jars. I mean, it just shows the thoughtfulness that has gone into every element of this product. The two shades that I got are Serpent de Mer, which is described as a dramatic burnt taupe with a hint of violet and subtle metallic bronze highlights. And then I also picked up Flora, which is described as a dimensional lavender with an iridescent satin finish for the perfect one and done eye. An ideal everyday shade for everyone who loves cool toned colors. Let me quickly swatch those for you. I've pulled some brushes to use for application, but I do want to just see what these feel like to the touch. And they do feel sort of wet. And that is what those shades look like. I also picked up two of the Celestial Sphere Gelée eye glosses. I think this is where we really are going to get into a conversation about who decides what performance means. Because for most of us, if an eyeshadow creases, for instance, that means it is not a high-performing eyeshadow. These eye glosses are going to crease, because that is actually how they are developed. They're not developed to crease, but they are developed to look a certain way on the eye that I think you can't achieve without a product that can eventually crease. These are also $39. These magical creations capture the night sky and constellations of scintillating starlight. Each richly textured, brightly shimmering gelée formulation creates a natural magic in a highly pigmented potion, all while being made with beautifully minimalistic ingredients. So I got two shades in this as well. I'll tell you guys, it was really, really difficult for both of these products to select shades. I mean, I wanted so many of these. I did pick what I would say were pretty safe shades, I have to admit. You know, if I end up really loving these, I may expand that. So these eye glosses do feel extremely wet to the touch, more so than the Eye Soots. This is Pixis, an iridescent blue aqua. This shimmer eyeshadow shade is named for the compass constellation, evoking the sunlit surface of seawater and bioluminescence beneath. That is how it looks on my finger. And then I also got Cassiopeia. This is described as a darkened, gunmetal gray shimmer, eyeshadow, and a black Gelée base. So before we get into applying these on the eyes, I'll share with you also that I got as a free gift their Levitation Lash Lifting and Lengthening Mascara. So this retails for $28, so this was a pretty nice gift with purchase. According to Rituel de Fille, they have created the ultimate all-in-one formula for volume, length, lift, and separation. It offers wondrous wear that is lightweight, buildable, and flake resistant. All of their products are cruelty-free, by the way. I just looked on the back and saw the leaping bunny. This is what the wand looks like. Okay, so let's get into applying these products. I did put eyeshadow primer on this eye, just a little bit, and did not over here because, as I said, I've never played with these. I have no idea how these are going to work on the eyes. Kind of want to start out with the eye soots. Let's first take Flora and put that all over the mobile lid, and then take the other eye soot in Serpent de Mer and use that as a liner. They do have a brush that they designed specially for their eye soots. I didn't pick that up because I have so many brushes, but I'm going to grab a Repper 12, which is sort of a domed brush that is pretty densely packed. So I'm just sort of swirling this in here. Again, have no idea how this is going to behave. This is the primed eye. So this is going on very, very easily with this brush. Got a little bit of fallout. Not much though. And I am able to use this brush also to sort of buff this out into the crease, which is nice. So this, I would say, is a good brush for this. Now that we've got that on, I want to use my finger to see if I can amp up the opacity here, at least in the center. And I think that amped it up a little bit, but not much. Let's go ahead and do all of the inner third. Now I'm going to take a liner brush and use Serpent de Mer as a liner. So I'm just sort of swiping in there, and I've probably picked up way too much pigment. Oh yes, I picked up way too much, so they do have like just an absolute black, which I really, really wanted to buy, but I was already getting some pretty deep colors. So you can see here, I'm getting a lot of fallout, but that's, you know, I'm going to say user error, which you could also call a learning curve. I mean, anytime you're trying something that's completely new like this, I am going to find something just to sort of flick my little mess away here, so that I don't rub it in, because I have already applied all of my base makeup. Okay, I got a little smudgy, but not the end of the world. That came together really quickly and easily. I would say it's not necessarily like knock your socks off like Innovation here. I'm just going to kind of deepen up the outer corner on the lower lash line too, because I do still have some of this Serpent de Mer on the brush. Connect up. I think it's really, really pretty. I don't think I had to have this product to create this look. Now, I want to just play with this a little bit more, just so we can see what this product can do. I want to go beyond just using this as a liner and see what happens if I just sort of use this to deepen up the entire outer corner of my eye. So I'm just kind of dipping into this again. And now I'm just going to kind of see if I brush this out more. And I want to see how it blends. kind of want to see just how far I can push it from a depth perspective. So I'm going to take some on my finger now and take that right into the outer corner and sort of reinforce the lash line out here. I'm sort of in love with it now. Wow, it's amazing how just adding one more thing like that can make a difference. I mean, I really feel like that made a difference. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. I'm just trying to look at different angles, but I think that's really, really beautiful. So we are going to switch over to the eyeglosses for this eye over here. You guys, I have got to see what this shade looks like all over the eye. I have to. Definitely using the finger here for application. Oh my goodness. Wow. Huh. I kind of feel like what is happening right here, right now, is almost what I expected to happen over here with that first lavender eye soot. Again, just not knowing, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, look at that. It really is like a bioluminescent bay. So that is even less light. How that sort of sparkles. I'm sort of in love already. Okay, I don't know if you can layer these, but we are about to find out. Let's do the liner thing again and then do the full deepening in the outer corner. Now, given how wet these are, I don't know if this is going to work. This may not work as a liner at all. I don't think it does. I mean, even if I could get this to work as a liner, my guess is it's not going to stay as a liner. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of this Cassiopeia and just deepen up the outer corner. And of course, the way to probably go about this, you know, if you're planning well, is to lay down your darker shade first and then maybe put this more sort of iridescent shade on top, just where you want it, which, you know, might just be in the inner corner or in the center of the lid. So I don't really think that added much impact, and my guess is that's because of the order in which I use them. I'm going to try with my finger just to buff out the top portion of this. I don't even know. Is it buffable? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm also wondering how mascara performs with these. I mean, do you need to put on a waterproof mascara because of how wet these are? I don't know. There's so much unknown. Y'all are like, Shannon, know something before you come on here. Okay, I am actually going to wipe this off because I want to put that gunmetal gray all over the way that I did with the bioluminescent shade. So let me just see what happens if I wipe with a dry towel. Okay, you end up with it everywhere. Good to know. So with a dry towel, it does not just come off, okay? And of course, I also managed to get it all down here. But look, we got to put this Cassiopeia all over the lid, okay? We are going full grunge gunmetal gray. Let's do a little bit of cleanup because right now I've made such a mess that I can't even judge what I've got going on here, guys. I'm going to clean up over here too. That is Cassiopeia applied just all by her lonesome. I mean, I think it's a vibe, you know? I mean, it's really a shade that is like you are wearing it because you are going for a very particular vibe that I hope to have, you know, an opportunity in my life to go for this vibe, but it's definitely not an everyday vibe for me. I am wondering if you can even lay eyeliner on top of this. Hold on. Okay, not the ideal shade, but again, we're just playing. We're experimenting here, right? Because we're doing our witchy gothy thing. What would happen if I take my Pat McGrath Labs eyeliner and try to apply it on top of the eye gloss? I mean, it's definitely going right on there, but it's probably going to go everywhere. It's making it easy to apply eyeliner, I'll tell you that. Just going right across my eye. I don't know, how different do these eyes really look? Let's again do the lights down, or at least one down. Do they look like cousins? A little bit. I mean, okay, I do kind of like them both. I think they're kind of cool. I'm going to do a little bit more cleanup and then we're going to throw mascara on because I've got to see, like, again, is everything, especially on this side, going to be sliding all over my face in 30 minutes? I mean, we got to find out. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I did that cleanup and applied a little bit more concealer. I am using my Glossier Stretch Concealer today, which I absolutely love. I also went ahead and curled my lashes, which felt a little bit odd, especially over here, where my lashes literally look sort of wet at the base. So let's see how this Rituel de Fille mascara does with their very own eye soots and gels. Pretty impressed so far. This is going on really well. This is going on like a tube of mascara that has been open for about a week. I mean, I feel like I do have immediate length, separation. This stuff is magic, okay? This stuff is magic. Wow, I'm sort of shocked. Okay, now for the wet eye. like that I can use the very tip of the brush to get to the root of the lash, to get to sort of the smaller, hard to reach lashes. So this is definitely my kind of mascara wand. I did 2 coats over here because I kind of ended up just going thicker over here from the outset. Didn't feel like I needed a full second coat. But so that is how the mascara looks. Let's try this on the bottom lashes. I usually have to use a different mascara on my bottom lashes. If I'm using something that is volumizing, but find out if this is good across the board. More here. Haven't been wearing obviously the eye soot or the eye gel that long, so I am just gonna have to see, guys, how these perform. I think I'm about to go to brunch with 2 totally different eyes here. Everybody just gonna have to get over it, okay? If I can handle it, then so can everyone else. I really love the colors though, and I love the wet look. Even this one looks pretty wet. So as of right now, I am pretty impressed with the formula. I know that when I first started to apply, I was kind of like, I don't know, but yeah, as it sits right now, I do think that they are special in terms of the way they look on the eyes. So I will continue to play with all of these products, and I will update you guys as I learn more about how to use them, maybe even incorporating them with some of my other eyeshadow products that are maybe even more powder formulations. I will keep you guys posted. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little foray into older products that are a little bit more unique than maybe a lot of what's out there available today. I hope that if you enjoyed this video, you will give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. And that you will subscribe if you are not subscribed. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.